Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Ray's Garage, Renting with Ray Ray. No, it's not cold. I just like this Galfer hat. You know what that is? Anybody? Anybody out there? This little plastic $3 piece of Chinese garbage is what holds together your clutch adjustment assembly. You pull the spring, pop this out, let go of the spring, pop it back in. There's your automatic clutch adjustment. Sucks from day one. The problem is that this little piece is housed in a little plastic tube right by the header, catching the heat of the header. It's not if it's going to fail, it's when it fails. When this little piece gives, your spring engages and you have no clutch. You can still ride the bike if you start it in first gear and take off. You might, if you're good enough, be able to shift through the gears. But you're going to come to an abrupt stop every single time and your engine's going to shut off because you're not going to get it back in neutral in time. At any rate, Fat Baggers makes a product, the Easy Clutch Adjuster. It's a 3-piece aluminum product that I promise you is worth the $50 they charge for it. Now, they also sell a tube that comes with it. In all, about $100. And you replace all the plastic garbage that's inside. So, get ready. I'm going to show you exactly how you put this in the garbage and you install the Fat Baggers clutch adjustment. I'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode with Ray's Garage, Renting with Ray Ray. What I'm showing you here is Harley Davidson's clutch cable. You know, they went from the hydraulic clutch to a cable clutch, I believe in 2022. No idea why they did it. It's a very expensive retro or upgrade if you want to make your clutch hydraulic again. The components needed, plus the labor and everything, is relatively expensive. I like the cable clutch system. What I don't like is this little $2 Chinese piece that Harley Davidson comes with. This guide goes in here. I should have shown you the headache that it was to cut it all out of there. But that goes in there. The cable goes inside of that. This is the way it's put together. It's an auto adjustment thing. You have to cut that piece out. This piece right here holds this little red retaining pin. It's just a little plastic piece that you pop out, take the slack up, push the spring, release it, and it does its auto adjusting to I want to say to a fault, but and this spring is what causes the tension. That spring goes up there. I wish I would have showed you before I cut it all. What I'm doing it is, it's not if it's going to fail, it's when it fails. And when it does fail, you have no clutch. You have no way to engage the clutch. So you can do what I had a buddy of mine do, and that is start the bike in first gear. The bike will take off immediately, and you ride very slowly. It'll get you where you're going in 6 months. And you ride very slowly to where you can get to a repair shop or home where you can repair it. Fat Baggers sells a kit, which is actually is an adjustable clutch kit. And they sell 2 pieces. They sell this piece, which would be your window to see the adjustment, replacing this plastic garbage. And instead of having a spring and this clip, you have this entire mechanism. I'm going to take it out. And show you what it looks like. It is a very tight squeeze in there. So to get in there, the best bet is to, luckily I have a lift. Put it on a lift, release your lower chin, just one side of it. Put some towels or something on there because it is going to hit the fender. And then you have this piece right here, which is your adjuster. This piece right here replaces the whole plastic mechanism of the old adjuster, and it's more of a, it's how it used to be. It's how Harley used to be, and you can tighten it and loosen it. And then you also have to do the primary. You have to loosen the cable at the primary so you can get the good adjustment. Because I have a Trask side plate, you can see I had to take everything apart so that I can get the 11/16 wrench on this nut and then the 7/32 Allen to loosen the actual clutch plate. And I'll show you what to do to make the final adjustment on that. Relatively easy, or I would not be doing it. Shout out to Julio, All-American Cycle. So I'm going to put this piece in. This piece will go and be my adjuster from now on. And once I got it in place, I mean, it's pretty simple. You line up all the, see how it's got like channels? And you have to line up the channels so that you can get your cable back in there. See that? Kind of hard to do this with one hand on the phone. But there you pretty much get the gist of it. You line all those up. You got to take this O-ring off initially to get the cable in there. Then snug everything back up. Make your adjustment on the primary. And then come back and adjust this side, depending on how you like it. I'll be right back. So, okay, I got this. This was a kind of a little trick to get it in there. Once you line up, as you can see the channels, you line all those up, then you slide your O-ring all the way up there, put your O-ring back on. That keeps all the dirt and debris and water. If it rains, you don't want that going. Anything that goes into this cable down here will travel through that cable all the way into your transmission. So definitely want to keep moisture out of there, rain, dirt, mud. So once you have this in place, you take your tube and put it on the bottom piece, slide that all the way in. Easier said than done. I'm gonna have to put the phone down. Anyway, that tube will slide in there in place of this little plastic thingamajig. And I can tell right now there's a problem. They sent me the wrong piece. Man, don't tell me I have to do this again. They sent me the wrong tube, and it's not going to fit my bike. So thankfully, I did not break this tube, and I can use this tube again. This part isn't the important part. This isn't what breaks, although I would have liked to. I'm not sure if once I take this all apart, if I want to do this again. But this aluminum tube is probably way better than having the plastic tube. But if that tube fails, nothing goes wrong. And this really doesn't move at all. You put this in there, those two little plastic clips right there, one on each side, right there. That's what holds it in place on the bottom end of this. So that's really not going to make a difference as far as stability and strength. It's all this piece right here that you're replacing. This is the piece that on Harley Davidson, this little plastic piece right next to the header is catching all the heat. And those little tiny clips that you see right there, one of them breaks, this will release, and then you have no clutch. You'll be fighting this spring, and I'll tell you, with everything I got, I can barely collapse this spring. So you're not going to be able to, with a dead cable, you're not going to be able to engage your clutch when, not if, but when this clip breaks, you are stuck wherever you are in whatever gear you're on. And like I said, you can put it in first gear, start it, and roll slowly, tediously to a repair shop or home where you can get it fixed. Or you can do this before it happens. Again, this $50 will save you a world of hurt. Let me get it all snapped in, put it all back together, see if I can get this other tube in there. If not, I'll use the plastic one again and get a refund for that tube. So I was able to figure out how to push this past. It takes some doing. Now, up in here, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. I'll try my best to get you up there. No. Anyway, up in there, there's a clip. I'm going to point to it right there. That little clip has to come down. See how I'm pushing it down? That is what holds the ball of that cable in place. So once you get it started, because that's what's going to keep your cable from popping out of the carrier. That right there holds the ball. But that little clip on top, and you can spin this window around, that little clip that I'm touching right there keeps the ball in place. So you got to fold that back down. That's what holds it in place, that you got to get out of the way initially. And then you got to see how it's coming down. That has to fold back down. That's what keeps your ball from popping out of the carrier. And I've almost got it. See how it's coming down? Once it makes contact with the ball, that's it. That's all you got to do. I'm going to get a little tiny screwdriver. And there it is. That will keep this ball from sliding out of the carrier. And that's it, man. I'll button it up, make my final adjustments up here. I'm going to show you the adjustment on the primary next. Once you have the primary set, you can make your adjustment. I probably just spun the phone around. So this is an 11/16 bolt. Crack it loose and back off with a 7/32 Allen wrench. You want to back this off. This is your actual clutch. And then you want to turn it until you feel resistance. Once you feel resistance, you see the clutch cable moving in and out. So you want to back it off till it's loose, turn it back in until you feel it bind. Once you feel it bind, turn it a half a turn and lock this nut back down. That's it. Once you lock that down, you are set to make your final adjustment on the other side with the clutch cable itself. So I like the play here to be about 1/8 of an inch before there's an engagement. So I'll tighten it down once I reach 1/8 of an inch. You can actually see the lever move as you're tightening your adjustment, and then you're all set. Put everything back together. So you can see I'm finished. I'll give you a little tip. Putting your cable back into the bracket right here, be careful. It's easy to break. So I zip tied it. See my little zip tie here. It'll do the trick. It's not crucial. If you break this whole one, this clip is what holds your reservoir in for your coolant. But I got it on there. I got the cable adjustment. I adjusted it. I got a 1/8 inch play. And now I got a test ride. All right, guys. Another episode of Wrenching with Ray Ray. Fat Bagger's clutch adjuster. The easy clutch adjuster. Get rid of that plastic, guys. It's not if it's going to fail. It's when it fails. Got a couple little battle scars. These fins. I bet you that there's a redneck somewhere in Milwaukee saying, Evan, put a razor edge on that dog for me. Because there's no need for them to be sharp. Little burring goes a long way, fellas. All right, that's it. That's a Fat Bagger clutch adjustment, easy clutch adjustment. I might get the cable, which makes this whole job a waste of time, because they have a cable. They sell a cable that fits, and the adjustment for the clutch will be up there by the handle. Just a little wheel, and you can make your clutch adjustments there. So guys, thank you. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and share. I just crossed the threshold of 400 subscribers. I need a whole lot more, guys. Please spread the word. Thank you. Thank you so much for supporting Ray's Garage and another episode of Wrenching with Ray Ray.